Hey, it's your girl Be Real, and I'm just checking in with another moment in the meantime. Listen, so first of all, I just want to say that to those of you who have already been listening, the love has been crazy. I'm so excited, man. I want to be honest. I want to be very transparent right now. And I just want to say that I don't know what I'm doing and don't. And don't. I do not know what I'm doing, y'all. God spoke to me, right? And he was like, yep, a podcast. I'm like, okay. And I'm at this point with God where I'm just like, I'm a whole yes man in here. Like, okay, sure, yeah, we'll do, God. You said it. I'm gonna do it. I'm your humble servant. Whatever you want me to do, Lord, here I am. Use me, oh God. That's where I've been at. But let me tell y'all something. He said podcast, and I said yeah, but it was like one of my old slow yeses, or more of a yes, but has some question marks, kind of like, okay. I just said okay. But what I did was, when he initially spoke it to me, I put it at the very bottom of my list. Put it at the very bottom of my list. It was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I was just like, okay, I can see where you're going with this, guy, but all right, I'll wait. And, the more I kept working on other things, the more he kept nudging me about, the podcast. And I was like, but, I don't have what I need to run a successful podcast. And his question to me wasn't even a question. His statement to me was, I didn't ask you what you had. And so I was like, okay, a little shame. But the fact of the matter is, I'm doing what he has asked me to do because he asked me to do it for no other reason. And so I guess what I wanted to do, what I wanted to just kind of say to y'all today, or I wanted to just pose this thought, or push this, I don't know what I'm doing, y'all, but is God telling y'all to do anything? Like, is he telling you to do something that you are just kind of like, but why? Or but how? Or but when? Is he telling you to do any of those things? If he is, I want to encourage you to do it, okay? I want to tell you to do it. When? Now. Go ahead and get started. Let me tell y'all how much of don't know what I'm doing I'm dealing with right now. I'm in my closet with the door shut, talking through my phone, using this app on a mountain of clothes that needs to be put away. But God told me to do something, and guess what your girl is doing? That's what he told me to do. And so I just want y'all to know that, like, you don't have to know the next step to start what he has told you to do. You don't have to know how he's gonna work this out. You don't have to know when. You don't have to know all the details. But I just believe that God is just waiting for you to say yes to what he's wanting you to do. And if you would just think about who you would set free by doing that thing that God is telling you to do. I don't care if he's telling you to get some banana pudding, put that thing in a jar and put it on Facebook and say, hey, I want to give away a jar of banana pudding. You don't know who you're helping when you do that. And it sounds silly and it sounds funny, but it's so real. What is God telling you to do? What is he telling you to do? Just go ahead and do it. You have no idea how you're going to solve a problem, or how you're going to be one step closer to that vision that you have, that God gave you about you. If you would just say yes to this, you don't have to know how you're going to do it. You don't have to know every little thing. I promise, man. I said, God, well, first of all, what I'm going to talk about. And then it was kind of like, well, Brittney, you could talk to a brick wall. Duh. So I was like, yeah, true. But then it was like, God, I don't have no equipment. And he said, but I said, start. I said, all right. Then I was like, God, You know everybody be talking about me about the way I talk. I am from West Memphis and I sound like it. And I mean, shout out to my West Memphians, because we get it. But it's just like, people who don't get it, they be like, whoa, that's how you talk? And so I'm like, God, come on, man. It's uncomfortable. Then, y'all, I'm going to be honest. You going to catch this smack when I'm talking. It's going to happen. Like right now, I'm trying to hold it and trying to stop it from happening. But at some point in this podcast or another, you're going to catch that lip smack, because that's just who I am. It happens when I speak. But you know what? God said, I want you to start. So I just want to say, look, man, if God is nudging you to do a thing, do that thing and give it everything you got. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything that you think you need to get started, man. But give the Father a yes and see what he can do. That's all I'm doing. I don't know where this is going, to be honest. And I'm not going to lie to y'all like I do know. I'm not going to lie to y'all like, oh, I'm just this dope chick and I decided, oh, let's see how I can be doper than the day before. Nah, that is not what happened. Your girl is very uncomfortable out here right now. But the Father said to do a thing, so I'm going to do that thing. So if you're journeying with me in the meantime, oh yeah, I ain't about to be the only one uncomfortable. Get in there, girl. That's what it is, all right? And so one more thing before I get off here, I have posted on Instagram, just like send some questions, like what do you want to know about in the meantime? And of course, in the meantime is my newest book, and baby girl is almost ready. When I tell y'all that I have rewritten that thing 2 times, and the Father is still giving me things to say. He is still taking away things and adding things and steady just adding to the story, adding to who I am as a woman, adding to who I am as a writer. And you know, we're just still working on it, man. But it is probably the most transparent thing I've ever done. It's probably the most it's just special to me. Just talking about just that point when you're, you know, that state where it's like, God, okay, I see where you don't have me here, but you told me I was going to be there. And it's like I feel close, but I'm not close. Like, I don't know what's happening. Just in the meantime, what do I do? In the meantime, what do I say? In the meantime, how do I love? In the meantime, how do I become this woman, God, that I know you've called me to be? How? And so that's what this book is about. And so everything that I do right now, it just seems to be in the meantime focused. Another thing, when you see me posting and you see me saying any ITMT, that's in the meantime, okay? I just feel like I wanted to just go ahead and say that. But one of the questions that I had was, what inspired ITMT? And honestly, what inspired ITMT was disappointment. But even greater than that, it wasn't the disappointment itself that inspired all of this. It was the small little piece of hope that I saw in the midst of disappointment. The book, it describes in detail exactly what that disappointment was, what it looked like, how it felt. But even with all of that disappointment, all of that confusion that I felt, and all of that betrayal that I felt, and that betrayal, I will be honest, I felt was from God. In the midst of all of that, there was still a small hope that said, Brittney, get up and pursue the word that I've already given you. And it didn't seem cool. It didn't seem like I was so ready to just middle finger that thing and be like, nah, I ain't gonna do this no more. But God said, nope, I want you to wait right here. Wait right here until you see change. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what In the Meantime is about. And the change that I wanted to see, turns out that change happened within myself. And so I just want to, in the meantime, it was definitely inspired by a small glimmer of hope in the midst of a mountain of disappointment. That's what inspired it, pursuing that hope. So yeah. Anyway, man, y'all send your questions because I would love to answer more questions about In the Meantime. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. So I'm just on here. I'm talking about what God puts on my heart to talk about, and I'm just living and I'm becoming, and I want y'all on that journey with me, okay? So that's what it is. If you're not following me on Instagram, you need to definitely do that. And it's at real. Be real. Very simple. REEL. If you put REAL, I'm just going to be like, yeah, not quite. But REEL. All right. That's what it is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me for another moment. In the meantime, it has meant the world to me, and I shall return. Okay? Bye.